Hello and welcome to Women's World, a program on Global Television where we bring you issues around women and tell you issues around women in politics. That's our focus today because we have a whole lot to bring to the front burner on women's participation in politics and how the realities plays out in navigating the political space for women, from elective offices to strategic appointments, and more women are stepping forward to take up those challenges. And of course, you know, as we always done women, so that we'll be doing this alone, I have my other hosts with me today. Apparently today we have just two beautiful Amazons here in the studio. I am Anita, Patrick, and Kika is here with me.
Anita, good afternoon. You know,
amazing time.
It's amazing time. How have you been?
I've been great.
You know, breaking barriers should not mean breaking oneself. Sustainable leadership requires support system, policy reform, and deliberate inclusion. When we have to look at women in politics, how the men take the women, how they accept them in politics, you know,
and all the practical steps,
all the struggles they face in making sure they achieve their goal.
Amazing. You know that women's participation in politics and governance remains one of the strongest indicators that we have around issues around women, and of course how inclusive the society truly sees women in doing all of this. And joining us to examine why women's voices matter in politics and governance, of course, is Ambassador Vivian Abara. She's the Executive Director, Peace Advancement Action Against Violence and Rape Foundation. She's also the State Network Coordinator for CSO NetMade and the Civil Society Network on Migration and Development. It's good to have you, Jonas Vivian, all the way from Jos. And interestingly, she happens to be my You know, that's one thing you always talk to me about, being one of the bravest boys, because I'm used to the military background.
Yes, you're used to military background. I wonder why you're not in politics. You're supposed to be there.
No, but
you're very welcome, Vivian.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Why is women in participation in politics and governance not just a gender issue, but a national development, talking about voice and their representation?
You know, like I always tell Aniti, that once women's voices are amplified, there'll be trouble. So it's a deliberate effort to keep making women's voices not to be heard. And I don't call it fair. I see it like a challenge. You know, men actually see it like it's a challenge to them. You know, women were everything. We multitask. Imagine where a woman keeps the home front. She keeps everything around her. She tries to keep them, balance them. So the men really, I think the fear is from them, not from the women. And we actually have a voice, but no one to amplify the voices. And around the world, globally, even the 1325 affirmative policy that came up, the action plan, it's about women, trying to make women participate. You know, you can't amplify your voice when you're not seen. So women are still at the background, or not at the back seats, so our voices cannot be amplified. But once they allow women to participate, they bring them up to make decisions. But you find out that most of the decisions that are being made are made for women. I don't know what business a man has with a menstrual cramp, but a man is actually making policies that has to do with menstrual cramps. So and then I don't know what they have business with in terms of nurturing and birthing of children, when you're the one that go to the labor room. So when they begin to do the right thing, put women, let women speak. It's not like they are not cowards. Women are not cowards. Because if you could carry children for 9 months, that means you're very strong.
Of course.
And any human that could carry another human is superhuman. So women are actually very strong, but the first thing is allow them to participate. Let us be seen, then our voices will be heard.
Okay, so let's look at all of these things that happen around women. What happens to policies and governance outcomes when women themselves are excluded from decision-making space, just like you mentioned? What now plays in the aspect of barriers where women are now not given that exclusive power to reach out or do the needed thing for them to make decision in that particular space that governs the women himself?
That's where you find that's where you see that women, they don't talk. That's number one. And then not fear. I really don't want to use that word fear. I'm very deliberate about it. They prefer to just sit behind and then watch, but not like they don't want to talk. And you know, there is one thing about not allowing women to speak. The first thing you see is their opinions would not matter anymore. Even if they have ideas to share, they wouldn't want to speak because there is no forum for them to speak out, right? So the first thing I think we should begin to look at, like you said, women in politics. A lot of women are actually in politics, but they are not seen. Even in our churches, women are still, well, in short, we're made to believe. I think it's more of cultural issues here now. And then I'm also looking at patriarchal issues too. And then I'm also looking at the religious part of it as well. You know, this issue that women are meant to be heard but not seen is still playing out. And then our mothers then didn't give us the opportunity to be able to be heard. So we saw it like a norm. So to most women, it's a norm. So when you see women that are now willing to break those barriers, they are seen as feminists, they are seen as women that don't respect the men. But what we are actually asking for is a balance. Like I don't preach equality, I preach equity, because I think equity is more better. It's more achievable. So if you know that a man can sit and talk about what his problem is, a woman should be allowed to sit on the table to discuss what the problem is. The women are in the home front, men are rarely at home. But why is it that when policies in education, in the healthcare circle, in maternal and child health as well, men are sitting on the table to talk about it and policies are now brought out? You know, Nigeria, we're very good at, we have a lot of policy, but the enforcement and implementation still is the problem, right? Now, you make policies as a man. And let me just give an example. Like you want to make a policy on safe maternal child health. There's something the woman goes through that needs to be there. Like then now when we look at gender-based violence, women see things and feel things differently. The way a woman will go through in conflict is not the way the man will go through it in conflicts. When they talk of maternal leave, maternity leave, when a woman puts to bed, what she feels is different from what the man feels. Right? And then a man goes to the market. What he buys is different from what a woman will buy.
That's true.
Women don't look at wants. They look at the need. While men look at wants. To them, what sits fine on the table. But the women will look at the nitty-gritties. And that is why women should be allowed to sit on decision-making table. Not about who, because I always tell people that when you see election or you see positions, a man is always the president. Then the woman might not be the vice, she will be the treasurer or the financial secretary. Now, if I flip the coin, I make it into joke that for us to be able to manage finances means we could even do more.
Of course.
Yes. So if we could handle, like give a woman 15,000 naira in this age and time, you come out, you'll be amazed at what it's going to give. But give a man 15,000, you'll find out that what he's coming home with is nothing to write home about. So it's not about equality right now. We're not trying to say the men are not doing their thing. But what we're saying is that the men should give women a space on decision-making table. Allow women to participate. Even in politics, they make women not to have anything. You don't have money. So when they increase the ballot, is it registration for elections or something? I'm not a politician, so yeah.
I know you're focused on the advocacy part of it. That's why we actually brought you in to talk about it. And good examples you've actually placed out for we to understand. Let's look out in area of violence and intimidation, also workplace. Place the scenario, because you gave a scenario of the home front and how that can play out and also in the political space. Political violence disproportionately affects women. That's one concern a lot of women are also looking out for. So how does this discourage participation, and what safeguards are urgently needed to encourage women who intend to be physically seen and heard in the political space because of the intimidation that plays out during elections? When they go out to cast their votes, or encourage other women to come out.
Okay, that was why I made mention of the barrier. They use women and they use men to intimidate women. Let me give you an instance. As someone that is in the advocacy field, we try to make women speak out. The first barrier is if we're able to break that barrier of speaking out, talk to someone. But they've put in this fear in us that if you talk, you're seen as a weak person, right? And then secondly, women should support women. I always refer back to when a lady came out for elections, and I have only one person.
She voted for herself. That's why
she voted for herself.
Exactly.
That's like all the workload she put into
exactly. So what's that trying to tell us? They are using women. We're not divided. They are just using what we don't have to be the dividing factor among women. So let every woman be empowered. If a woman is empowered and we support ourselves, there's nothing wrong. Women coming together, calling for a movement on break the barrier, let our voices be heard. But you still find out that when you try that, the same set of people would use some, I don't want to say women, will use some people to divide the whole thing. So as civil society organizations, what we do is we try to amplify voices. The fact that we're non-partisan doesn't mean that we don't amplify voices of women that are coming out. Yes, like in the state where I come out from, we have only one woman in the house, which for me is not enough. What will she do? She'll be intimidated, she'll be harassed, she can't even talk. Because majority, democracy is about voting. And how do you expect her to make a change with just a lone voice? So I think it's time women begin to advocate. And that is what we in the civil society space, we know that we are the watchdogs of the society. And what we've noticed is that they use violence, they use intimidation, they use harassment and fear to suppress women and make their voices heard.
All right, ma. From your work across civil society networks, what are the biggest obstacles to keep women out of politics? Is it the fear, the finance, or lack of support?
The first I'll always go for is lack of support, and then I'll now put poverty. That's lack of finance. Because first you need to get the support of the people around you. It starts from the home front.
That's true.
Then from the home front it goes to the church. Then from the church it goes into the society. Then from the society it comes back to your table. Right? So I think the support, if women can first of all get support, the financial part of it wouldn't be an issue. So the support first. Let there be acceptance. Accept first that we women, we have something to offer on the table, and something juicy, something that is very interesting, that when you open the package, you'll be wowed at what they have. Just check the women around the world. Okonjo-Iweala is not far. Look at what she's doing. Put women anywhere. Allow them to run things without interference. You will see magic.
Okay, talking about support, how can a civil society organization better prepare women who want to enter the politics?
Through capacity building trainings.
Okay.
Because I tell people that if you want to come out, that you want to be a governor, we can't just pick you and make you a governor. You have to show that you have what it takes to be a governor. First of all, build your capacity.
Okay.
Right? And when I mean build your capacity, go for trainings, self-awareness, know who you are first. If you know who you are, and that's where the civil society organizations come in, we try to make you be aware of who you are, accept yourself, and then build your capacity. When you build your capacity, that's when you'll be able to amplify your voice, and then you get people that will also support you, and your voices will be heard.
So I like the fact that you talk about support and capacity building for women. Of course, that's one major thing everyone should actually always speak out for. But the concern here is, do women govern differently? Because you give a scenario of the chairman, the secretary, the vice chairman, and then women tend to take the financial aspects of leadership role. And then if men can trust that women can handle those aspects. So I'm wondering, do they govern differently? And if so, how do that difference benefit the society or the community at large in which they govern themselves?
Okay, you know, there's this saying that train a woman, you train a nation.
Yeah.
A woman has been trained from when she was a child.
Okay.
Right? So when it comes to finances, she knows how to manage it. When it comes to emotions, she knows how to settle. You know, women are actually one of the best peace builders you can come across, because they will build peace in the home front, they will build with their children, they will build in the community, they will build at their meetings and in their churches. So you see, they've played all the roles in one. They handle the finances, they still handle their husbands well to keep their home from breaking, right? Then thirdly, they handle their children. Some of them have rebellious children, but you'll be amazed at how they make kings out of paupers, right? And then you also look at, they are also good dressers, and there's something a woman has that a man might not have, maybe very few. Intuition. Women are gifted divinely with intuition, and intuition is one of the driving force in managing people. It will help you manage your emotions, and then I also say that women have social and emotional intelligence more, because they know how to handle, they know when to break, they know when to stand, right? They know when to say, okay, I'm not taking this. And even at saying I'm not going to take this, they will still look at it critically and now say, okay, let's call for a truce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this standpoint is this, and let us stand at this point.
Exactly.
Well, there's a whole lot. Consigns will be asked about what message would you send to political parties and government institutions about creating safer, fairer spaces for women, because in all we've said, we've talked about where the advocacy is, amplifying women's voices, but it's time for the governments, which governments have also put that in place. Don't forget that the call for women's inclusion is also one. 5%, yes, over the time.
There's nothing like 35% there.
So I'm looking at more stronger policies. Like you said, it's not about equality, it's equity. And like I always say, gender shouldn't just be tied to the woman alone. It should be a balance of both gender, both male and female. So now we're looking at the call for government institutions to look at that equal balance. It might not be exactly 50-50, but it should just be a fair share of this particular flow for women. So what's your thought, basically?
Well, my thought on this is we already have policies. The VAP law is there. Even the Constitution still covers women, kind of. And then there are policies like the 1325 affirmative action I said. The number one is participation. So if the government really wants to be fair on women, they should, first of all, the 35% affirmative, they should make it happen first. And then give opportunities to women to have a voice. Give them tickets. Let them be party carrying, party carrying members? No, is it flag bearers?
Flag bearers.
At least let them try them first. So if the government really wants to be inclusive, they should begin to listen to women. They should break all those barriers, hidden barriers. The truth is that we have hidden barriers that is really breaking even the women that have a voice. It might interest you to know that even the women that look so big and tough, beneath them, they cry every day. If they tell you or share with you what they go through in the hands of the same people that are meant to defend us. So we are not asking them that we should sit on the same level.
Yeah.
We can sit on the same table. All we are asking is issues that has to do with us as women. Allow us to talk about it. Allow us to say this is it. Like rape. A man will not understand what it is to rape a woman and what a woman has gone through.
That's true.
A man can never understand that mother that goes to work, come home, she's beaten, and she's meant to keep quiet because she wants to hold her home together. They won't understand it. A man cannot understand the pains a mother goes through when she's trying to dress the wound of a child that was shot mistakenly by a security that is meant to defend them. We have so much to talk about, but what we are pleading and what we're telling the government, if you really, really want to be government for the people, you should listen to women. Bring women on board. And therefore, the women out there, if you have the strength and the capacity, don't let anyone drown your voice. Like I always say something, my voice is too strong to be vulnerable. I stand for the vulnerable people. So if my voice becomes vulnerable, what happens to that indigent girl that doesn't even have someone to speak to for her? What happens to that woman that is at the back door in the market that doesn't even have anybody to stand for her? So if women that in political positions could keep away their selfish ambitions. I am very deliberate with that word selfish, because if all of them, even if they are 10, the truth is that we don't even need a multitude of women to make a change. Just 3 strong women can make a change.
But a good thing I have about this whole thing is the fact that good enough we have a lot of women who have also made their marks across the different fields, which is one of the reasons why we're also clamoring for more of this kind of display, because if we have more, the more the merrier, and that will give us an edge for. It's good enough that you talked about the cultural differences, the political violences, and also the intimidation and financial and structural challenges that have actually played out across board for women, because one thing women have faced are these things we've mentioned, and it's high time that's put in perspective. And I like the fact that you're on the advocacy part where you can actually build for that to stand strong. And so one major thing we'll look out for is that going forward, what's your take? What should be, because we're moving gradually into 2027, so what should be your standpoint for women to do in the course of this?
Mentorship. They should stop bag carrying mentees. What we need are real mentees. If you're up there, mentor the young ones. We shouldn't be afraid of leaving the space. Once we begin to mentor the younger ones, you find out that our voices will be amplified together. So that's the only thing, because we're done saying unite, we're united. The only thing dividing us is that we are not willing to mentor the younger ones. We're not willing to leave that space. The day we learn to leave that space and we stop back carrying mentees, I think we'll go a long way. Women are doing a lot. If you go around the world, even in Nigeria, we have women that you can't even, you'll be amazed to say, is this person from Nigeria? So I think what we need to do is identify those that have the strength of leadership, those that have the voice, the willingness, and the strength to move forward without fear. If only we could do that and help them stand tall, I think we're good. Our voices will be amplified.
All right, thank you so much, Vivian Abara. Women's voices are not optional in governance, they are essential. When women are absent from politics, communities lose perspective that promote inclusion, peace, and development. Well, as Nigeria charts its democratic future, the message is clear. Governance works best when everyone has a seat at the table. Exactly. Thank you so much, Vivian Abara, for being a part of the program. We look forward to more conversation around women's voices and amplifying our voices. Well, it's still Women's World on Global Television. Up next is an interesting conversation around women in politics. Please stay with us. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never define us.
You're not going to marry a man who will oppress you, intimidate you, and make you feel less of a human being.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers, from entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters. Every voice counts because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory. This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never define us.
You're not going to marry a man who will oppress you, intimidate you, and make you feel less of a human being.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers, from entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters. Every voice counts because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory. This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power. Welcome back. It's still Women's World on Global Television. On this segment on Women's World, we focus on women in leadership, a reality of navigating Nigerian political space. From elective office to strategic appointments, more women are stepping forward, but the road remains tough, shaped by cultural barriers, political structure, and intense personal pressure.
Well, so how can women break barriers without breaking themselves, and how much space does Nigeria's political system truly offer women? On the program on this particular segment, our guest is a graduate of mathematics from University of Jos. She brings a rare blend of intelligence, poise, and passion to every stage she steps on. Her journey began in the world of broadcasting at DBN TV, where her voice became known for educating and connecting audiences. Masters. Today, she is the founder and lead coordinator of Kel Joyce Events Masters and also serves as project director at Telema Lion Foundation, driving educational and empowerment programs across Nigeria. Kindly welcome Ozunwe Joyce Kelechi, founder and lead coordinator of Kel Joyce Events Masters. Welcome. It's good to have you join us.
It's good to have you join us.
I'm very excited that I'm here today. I'm very happy to be here.
Good to see you.
Interestingly, when we see a fellow broadcaster come on set and talk to us about issues,
women in leadership.
Yeah, because that's one of the focal points we always want to talk about, have women in the front runner discussing women, because that's one area where if we see women being limited, kind of. So it's good to have you join us. So let's get this ruling about women in leadership in Nigeria today. Would you say, for what we have, that progress is real, or there's still some things that needs to be symbolic to talk about women in leadership?
You know, the truth of the matter is, I would say that women limit themselves.
Okay.
Women allow themselves, you know, to be boxed.
Okay.
You know, we have this mentality that is a man's world.
Okay.
You know, they won't let you. They won't let you. You let yourself. Yeah, I decided to take the bull by the horn.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I decided, and I discovered that this particular year, in my constituency, everybody's shocked because women came out.
Yeah.
In the election I'm going for, we are 4 women. Yes, and it may interest you to know that none of us is from the FCT, you know, and we have 5 men. So the truth of the matter is, women need to talk to themselves. We need to tell ourselves we can. You know, for me, I love to go where men are predominant. Like I'm a professional.
Yeah, the alpha.
Yes,
alpha
we have
woman.
men. Yes, I would like to go there, and I would like to do it well.
Okay.
So they can look for me. They'll say, "Oh, that woman." Like I don't like when they say, when something goes wrong, they say, "Oh, you're a woman." Have you witnessed it?
Yes, it happens.
Okay,
I like when we shine so bright in the space of the male folks, where sometimes they feel it's not something a woman should handle. And I like the fact that you said you took the bold step in the political space, for instance, from your perspective. How welcoming is Nigeria's political environment to women who lead, not just participate in the space? Because it's one thing to participate and be underneath. Earlier we had a guest who talked about women and why their voices needs to be heard. That's Vivian Abara joined us earlier and talked about the advocates for women amplifying their voice. But you are here, you're in the space of politics. So for you, how does this work out in the Nigerian space?
You know, the truth of the matter is, I just discovered that our community, they are looking for women. Everywhere I go for campaign, they're like, we want a woman this time.
Okay.
We want a woman this time. The acceptability is what is pushing me.
That's great.
I'm telling you, everywhere I go, they're like, I'm going to vote you because you're a woman. And I'm not talking about women saying this. Men.
So that's good.
Men. There was this organization I went to see. They invited me, and they are all men, no woman.
Okay. So they are the he for she's now.
Yes.
Whose voices are speaking for women.
And they said men. I remember their leader, that particular group, said our men, they don't fail us. So we want women now.
So the narrative is gradually changing.
In the aspect of personal cost of leadership, many women says leadership comes at a cost. How can women lead effectively without burning out or losing themselves in the process?
You know, first and foremost, you must. For me, I'm married. My husband is my #1 fan. He's supporting me financially. He's supporting me spiritually. He's supporting me emotionally. Because if you break down as a politician, a female politician, you don't have a home front that is thriving, you're going to have a problem.
That's serious.
Because yes, when after running around, you will come back and face the man who is not happy with you. Yes, face the man who started a fight in the morning. irrespective of the fact that you're going for a political meeting. He started a fight. The fight must continue. When you get home, it's not going to stop because you're coming in from somewhere. But you know, if you have a supportive, because I want to say this very categorically clear, if your home is shaking, don't go into politics.
Exactly.
Because it's going to break you. Yes, because you can't cope. I'm coping because even when I'm like, oh, I'm tired, my husband will say, well done.
Keep it going. The fan is, it keeps fanning.
We can't
stop now.
My husband decided to go ahead of me. And what did he do? This house to house we are doing today, he started it.
Okay.
I said, oh, and my husband is on the quiet side. Me, I'm the one that can talk. He doesn't like talking, but he shocks me. He beats me to it. So if your home is not strong, don't even try. Because it's going to break you before you go halfway.
Okay, so I have this mindset each time a woman comes in the front run to want to roll for leadership. There's always, when you're asked, they always ask you, how do you handle the home front and balance your leadership position or your political space? And I'm always asking, why don't we ask the men the same question? So I like the fact that you've portrayed that word out there to say, when your home is not balanced, don't do this, because it will also help you find. So I'm trying that too, because you also understand what we're doing here. So why do women always be put out to say, how do you find a balance between the home and politics or the career
because they say that our place is in the kitchen.
But is that our place in the kitchen?
Can it be our place in the kitchen? Am I in the kitchen right now? Are you in the kitchen right now?
This is my kitchen.
This is my kitchen.
Exactly. So
is a speech that should be changed, and that's why I'm going in to change the narrative.
Amazing.
Yes, and my slogan is a voice of the voiceless.
Okay.
You know, because you're a woman doesn't mean that you can't have a successful career and a successful home.
Okay.
That's what I want to prove.
Okay.
That you can succeed all round. You can. Okay, that I go out for political meetings doesn't stop me from cooking for my husband. It doesn't. I make sure I cook and I keep the home going.
Okay.
I prepare the home. The only thing is I'm going to put more effort. If I used to sleep by 11, means I'm going to give maybe 2 more hours to do to put my home in order. Do you understand?
I get that.
Yes. So it's when my home is crying, that's when you start complaining. Okay, see the husband is no longer eating. See how haggard he is. And people will say, we said it. Why is she going into politics? But if the man is still bouncing, he's okay, he's shining. So where are you going to blame me?
Okay.
I didn't fail.
That's
my
right.
children are okay. I didn't fail. When they call me, I pick my call. I need to know what is going on. Okay, I just said before we started that I'm just coming back from JOAS. Yes, my son got an admission, and it is still me who is running for politics that had to take him to school. And he's not secondary school, it's a university. But I had to go because I needed to know the house they got for him. I needed to know where it is. I needed to put things in order. Okay, if I don't have time for my home, I would like, okay, just go. I'll be calling you on phone. No. You must create time for your family. You must create time for your immediate home. Because it's when they suffer, the news will go out.
Of course, it's bad news flies
very fast.
Your neighbors will tell the story and you're not aware.
Yes, of course.
Let's look at it as survival and strategy. Because that's one area we should actually focus on and see how that can help. What strategies have you seen successful women use to survive and stay relevant? Because you've just mentioned fixing that home front and getting it right so that your neighbors don't tell the stories you're not even aware of in terms of trying to paint a picture. Because we have a male-dominated political space, and trust me, there's always a little dirty side of that will come to play. So how do you think you can strategize better aside the home front you just fixed to find that balance with the male folks?
Yeah, because I've gone into politics, shouldn't make me drop what I'm doing before I enter politics.
Amazing.
I have a job, I have a career. The career shouldn't die. So somebody asked me, by the time you win, will you still be an MC? I said, of course. I will be an honorable MC.
Master of ceremony.
Master of ceremony. Yeah,
the broadcast system in the blood.
Exactly. It's not going to die.
It's not going to die.
I will still be making money from that area. You know, the problem is people get carried away. You win an election. That's all you know now. You don't have any other.
So your life stops.
Your life stops.
At that point.
So what if something happens? What if someone goes to court?
And you spend the whole money. You spend the whole money fixing. Exactly. Because you need resources. Source of income.
A steady income. You need a steady income that is coming in. And you know, let me also tell every woman listening to us. If you want to gain respect from your husband, if you want to be relevant, be doing something, be bringing money. Yes, surprise him. Yes, the man shouldn't be the only one bringing money. It's not every woman that is throwable.
No, it's not, actually.
You can't discard every woman.
That's true.
Yes, that's the truth. If you're not a liability, it is difficult for your husband to discard you. So that you've entered politics, your life should not just be politics. Have something, side hustle now. There is something you were doing before you became a politician.
Of course.
That thing should not stop.
Okay.
Keep doing it. In fact, build it. Add more. Add more things. You know, I told you I'm an MC. I also went to learn what's it called? Tailoring accessory business.
I thought you wanted to talk about interior decorations and all that.
Okay, maybe you're giving me
you an idea.
I will enter that one. You know, let's do one thing.
You should have your hands full. I always talk about the source where you have multiple income coming in for you because it gives you an edge.
Exactly.
It gives an edge.
Yes, I tell people if you don't have up to 5
streams of income,
you're poor.
You're still learning.
You're still struggling.
You're crawling. At that point, I think let's look at the baby steps. Just crawling. Because if you don't crawl, you would not walk.
Exactly.
And when you walk, you need to run.
Exactly.
So I think those are things we need to. But let's come back home to our political space. Looking ahead, with elections approaching in different cycles, you know, that's what's playing out. What practical steps should political parties and institutions take to increase women's representation? Just like you said, you're coming out to represent the women in this particular elections, which is what's coming. But let's talk about you. What do you think can be done better for women's representation?
Just for parties to make it easy for women to come in. You know, okay, for instance, if your ticket, a party, your ticket is 5 million, how many women
can afford
it? If they've not been in politics or they don't have a very big source of income, bring it down for women. Encourage them. You know, let the men's fees be higher. I mean it. When I mean higher, like 50% higher.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You know, let it be something affordable.
So if you say the meals fee should be higher, that means we're not looking at equality right now or fairness.
You know, we are talking about encouraging women to come in.
If we're encouraging the women, we should find a balance.
A balance. This is part of it now.
I tried to get that straight away because I'm serious because the truth is I've been on the political space in the sense of covering elections and I get to see empathy playing out for what's it called, voter apathy playing out when we see women come out, and then when it comes to picking up forms, there's always the withdrawal from women.
Yes.
And then the male folks who have the money, some of them go through lots of debt.
Exactly.
Let me just bring it down. So when you say let the males pay be higher, let's say 50%, so you're saying the women's own should be like 20 or 30?
No, 50. Okay, for instance. Okay, maybe say 70.
70
no. Let's say 60.
60-40?
40.
Okay.
60-40?
Okay, so
a little bit higher.
I would kind of bite that, but I think equity should play out. In the sense that, just like we had our earlier guests also talk about finding how to build women's capacity, and you also mentioned where a woman also has to have multiple or streams of income and also a supportive home front, where women can also rally around. Because if you see people who come out for elective offices, they also have strong support or sponsors who stand for them. If we have such playing out for the women, I think women will find their voice.
Okay, yes, you know, and have men.
Okay, and let's add to that, for women that are aspiring to coming into leadership position, what should they prepare for, or should they never compromise?
What should they prepare for? You should prepare for criticism. You should prepare for, you know, the men are going to say, sit down, you're a woman.
This is Africa.
Yes, you should prepare to hear that. And don't get angry. Prepare yourself. Prepare your mind. You know, she talked like that. He's a woman. I know. He's a woman.
So that word also always. Why would they always say is even in driving?
Oh, that's, you know, when I made the very first statement, when I said they'll just
look at Nawoman now. But there are better drivers.
What are you saying? When they say that to me, I'll say, excuse me, I drive myself from Abuja to Umuahia. You know how far that is?
Exactly. Yeah, I told you.
That's about 10 hours.
Yes, I do.
So
with my children at the back of the car, I will just move.
So that's
but not now again.
The road is very beautiful.
Let's come back to. Yes, I just chipped in the driving thing because I see that plays out a lot when they say it's a woman. But on the table in the political space, when they tell you it's a woman's talk, how would you feel? Let's throw that to you because you're getting into this particular space.
No, I'll address it. I'm not going to feel bad because I know that's what it is. That's what they say. So, but when you say that, I'll counter it.
Okay.
I'll let you know I am here today, but I'm a woman.
Okay.
And we are sitting on the same
table.
Yes.
So what's
which
the difference?
Means it was a different, which means we can do it.
Okay.
Do you understand? And I also want society to stop judging women. And when a woman gets to the top, don't say a man made her. She has brains.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We are creative. A woman can make her own money. Don't say, okay, there is this other thing that when a woman goes into politics, they say, oh, for her to win, she must have slept with a man. No! No, I have the capacity to win without even being sponsored.
Of course, women are making their money.
Yes.
They are making their money. Yes,
nobody is sponsoring me, and I'm doing my thing. My husband and God is my sponsor right now.
Yes.
But it's not as if somebody comes to sponsor, I won't accept.
No. That's where we talked about the issue of capacity and a win-win, or seeing the future of a woman standing to win that space and doing very well. Because I always say I've seen women do very well in different fields. And for me, I like to push the drive and also support when I see. And so I think it is high time that narrative, just like you said, change. So what policy, in terms of policy-wise and culture-wise, to make leadership for women sustainable, what should be done differently? Because you're going into that space. So what are you speaking out to women who support you, or the he for she men who support you in this particular race you're going for?
I always tell them, just know that I am going there to make you proud. I am not going there to sell out. I am going there to make sure my word is my bond. I'm going there to change the narrative. I'm going there to show the world that a woman can even do better.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm going there to let them know that a woman can be more creative. A woman is, by nature, we are versatile.
True.
Women are versatile in nature. So I want to bring that versatility, into what we're doing, into politics. That as a woman, we can create what has not been there. We are, the way God molded us into this world, we are molded as creators. So whatever field we find ourselves, we should be able to multiply. We should be able to change the narrative. We should be able to make people see things. Oh, so something like this could happen here.
If we had that,
and they will say, since that woman came in, so we could feel a new touch since she came in. I don't know if you understand. So this place could get better. So this road
could have been better than this.
So no pothole here since that woman came in.
So that should be like a trend of impact.
Exactly.
should play out in all of this.
Yes.
So thank you so much for bringing that out, because we know that a lot of women are always careful and dicey in decisions in terms of coming out to lead in positions, because a lot of sensitive positions where women still say, can I do it? Because one, they are scared of criticism that comes out to play, and the intimidation that plays out when the male folks speak. But it's good to hear someone like you speaking tough and knowing that we trust your mindset. We don't intention us today that you are going to change all of that. Thank you so much, Ozunewe Joyce.
And I'm going there to win.
Yes, of course.
Going to try. Somebody said,
the winning
if you didn't win now, you no, say no. Don't say that. This is my time. I'm going to win.
And your time is now.
My time is now.
You want to speak Justina? We'll do that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ozunewe Joyce Ikilechi, founder, lead coordinator of Gel Joyce Events Masters, for your time, amazing time. Well, as Nigeria continues to debate inclusion and representation, one thing is clear: women are not asking for favors, but for fair and functional space to practice what they want in the political space.
All right, breaking barriers should not mean breaking oneself. Sustainable leadership requires support system, policy reform, and deliberate inclusion. This is where we call it a wrap on Women's World today. I
think he wants to continue this conversation, but amazingly, this is what we call it a wrap. Because up next is our programming on Global Television. Don't forget, Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. To follow us always on our socials, kindly follow us on our socials as displayed on the screen using at Global TV NG. Until we come your way the next time, I am Aniti Patrick,
and I am Kike Lomo Okeri. I celebrate it all.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.